Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to be talking about ZER0ED 1.2 today, what's new, and, well, not everything that's new, a little bit about what's new because I want to keep this video relatively short. So one of the aspects of ZER0ED 1.2 that I'm adding to the game is increasing the difficulty of the insane mode and endless. In the current version of the beta, which you can get in the description below, when you tap on a target in easy and hard, and in the current version of the game, you cycle through three different states, either unselected, selected for subtraction, and selected for addition. And you can just keep doing that, and you can select any number of targets as you want. In this new beta, when you tap on a target, it has a chance to affect another target in the game, but I'm playing around with it. It still could change, and I hope that you guys will leave some feedback below. Is it too difficult? Is it confusing? Is it fun? Is it exciting? Does it add a nice twist to the game? Anyway, let's take a look at what's happening behind the code. We have this function, which is the target click function. So this is just a listener. When we click on a target, it hears that and basically responds by saying, hey, I'm a target. I've been clicked. Let's do a bunch of stuff. We come into this if statement here. Basically, we first check, make sure there's no 5s or 7s on the board, because if there's a 5 or 7 on the board and if the target is unlocked, then we can't play it. We're going to come in here. We're going to play the target. We're going to set the isSelected state for that target, which is how we transition through the different states. I can show you that really quickly here. So if I go over to the target function, isSelected is this simple function here where we come in and we set the current state plus 1 each time. And then if that current state gets to 4, essentially we set it back to 1. Because if it comes in and it's a 4, it's a 1 now. If it was a 2, it's a 3. If it was a 1, it's now a 2. Get it? Good. All right. Simple. Now what we're going to do is, if we're on the insane or endless difficulty modes, then we're going to come in and we're going to search the level targets. And as we're going to ignore this first one because this is just about hidden targets, which is a design feature of the game. You don't have to know that. We're going to come into this if statement. We're going to say if our target is the bottom target, then if the top target's current state is 1, which as we just saw means that it's currently not selected for anything, we're going to first reset the target, and then we're going to get a random number, which is 0 to 2, because if you remember, the states start at 1, but we add a 1 when we come in. So we're going to basically pass that state, and it's going to be a 0 to 2, which means by the time it gets to the state function, it's a 1, 2, or 3, which means it's either unselected, selected for add, or selected for subtraction. Remember, the target that we tapped on is equal to the bottom target. So what we're doing here is we're modifying the top target, and we are going to run the isSelected function on the top target for this current state, whatever state we have here. Basically what happens is we tap on a target, we set it to subtraction. There's a chance that this will return a 0. This random function will return a 0, which means that it's going to come in and it's going to say, all right, it's a 0 because of the way the function works. It's a 1, which means the current state is 1, which means it's unselected. So in that particular case, nothing happens. So there's a 1 in 3 chance that nothing happens. And then there's a 1 in 3 chance that that target is now set to subtract. And there's a 1 in 3 chance it is set to add. And this happens again for the right target, which will affect the left target, and the left target, which will affect the right target. Back to this little crazy thing up here. This basically just means that because there's a chance that the target's hidden, because in the early part of the gameplay, there's only 2 targets available to tap. The other 2 targets are there, they're just hidden. And we don't want to affect those targets, because if you set a target that is hidden to subtract and the resource that you're subtracting is greater than that target, you're going to get a negative number and you're not going to be happy because you're going to lose and you're not going to understand why. Trust me, it took me a while to figure out what was going on when I was playtesting this, because I kept losing and I didn't know why until I figured out this problem. It was a fun time. That's generally what's happening in the current version of the beta. I've been playing this. I found it very difficult. It's frustrating and it takes forever to score points because you have to play really slow and you make a lot of mistakes. And you haven't had time to get any power-ups, so you're very likely to die quickly. So what I've decided to do was add a modifier here to check if the game scene score, which is your current score before any bonuses and whatnot are added, is greater than 2,500 points. I picked 2,500 because easy and hard, the game ends at 2,500 points. points. On insane, you're required to get to 3,000, and on endless, you can obviously go until you die. But basically what happens is now with this modifier added in, it means that this idea won't take place until you've gotten further. I played it once. It does make the game much more difficult once you get above 2,500 points. But because you have played for enough time, you have a little bit more survivability, but it does make the game a lot more difficult. So I'm interested to see what you guys think about this. Is it too hard? I mean, these are insane, and endless is supposed to mirror the insane mode. Well, I think that's where I'm going to cut this video. Here's another one for you to watch if you're interested to see some more. I think you'll like it. If not, well, I'll see you in the next one.